What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Oh man, it's been a crazy day. Joanna and I have been filming videos all day, talking to you guys. We got a bunch of new subs. We are getting dangerously close to 1K. So thank you guys for all the support. We're really pumping. We're really excited. I hope you guys caught my video today on how did Funko do in 2020. Hope you guys enjoyed that. All right, there. I see Jason's in the house tonight. Sweet. So we got a pretty epic live stream planned. This is our finale recap episode of Mando Mondays. So I know Dom's excited. I was blown away by the episode. I see we already got some people in here. I'm going to bring in Jason from Colorado Pops.
What's up, guys?
What's up?
All right, so I see we already got some people in the house tonight. A lot of familiar faces. We got Anthony, that's right. Road to 1K. This is the way. You guys are awesome. Who else we got? General Grievous is in the house. Stephen Campbell. All of our local, regular Star Wars people. Jedi John, of course. Kenneth Bird's in the house. Kenneth, I just mailed out your giveaway prize today, the 10-inch Chrome Mandalorian. So be on the lookout for that the next few days. Let's see. Who else we got? Teresa's in the house. What's up, Teresa? Yeah, we're getting there. We're getting there. Very close to 1K. What's up, Brett? Rodney, what's going on? New phone, who dis? So, guys, here we are. Finale.
Wow.
Can't believe it. It's been insane.
Wow. You know what's funny? How fast the time went. We were in anticipation for the season to come. No trailer, no nothing. All of a sudden, it's done.
Yeah, absolutely.
Crazy.
Absolutely. I can't believe it. I actually rewatched the episode today. It's kind of been my routine to rewatch the episode right before we go live here. And I don't know about you guys, but when I first saw the episode live, it felt like, of course, we watched it at like 4 a.m. We stayed up. And I felt like the episode was like an hour and a half. And then I rewatched the episode twice. And each time I watched it, it went by so quick. But when I was in the moment for the first time I saw this episode, I felt like it was so long. I don't know if you guys had that same feeling.
Well, I was up at 3 a.m. to watch it when it first premiered.
Yeah.
It froze on me 4 times.
Oh, that would have killed me.
Everybody was on it.
Everybody was watching.
Shutting it off and restarting it. I was like, come on. And then people already hitting me up at 3 a.m. on the phone. I'm like, nah, I can't look at anything because I was like, bam. But then finally I got it. And then I watched it 3 times that particular time.
Yeah. No, yeah, Steven, it was brilliant. It was awesome. So we're going to break it down. I definitely want to hear both your opinions, gentlemen. It blew me away. I was shocked. I really couldn't believe the final twist at the end there. But we have so much new Star Wars stuff to look forward to. Some stuff is, we don't have anything super immediate, but we have lots to look forward to in 2021 and moving forward in 2022 and 2023. So I think Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau have really they've just given us so much hope with this new show.
The fan service that we got this year, which you can't call it fan service. You don't understand that. This is stuff that we waited for 37 plus years.
Yeah.
It's just, you sit there, we saw the sequel trilogy, and we really got upset because it wasn't what we wanted. It wasn't the Star Wars that we wanted after not having Star Wars for a long time. And they delivered, man. They delivered more than we could possibly imagine. And what's on the horizon? Oh, man.
Oh, it's
like a kid all over again.
Yeah, it's the possibilities are just unfathomable now. What they've opened up the opportunity to so much more now. And I mean, you clearly saw that at the end of this last episode. With Disney now, where they're going, what they can do, it's infinite, and I'm excited for it.
Look, they opened up a Pandora's box now. So
oh yeah,
they definitely have to do something about that now, and it's going to be amazing to see how they do it.
Mm-hmm. Definitely, and they can go all sorts of different angles with it too. It's going to branch out in so many different ways. You're going to have crossovers. You're going to have timeline differentials because something's going to take place in one episode before it happens in another episode on another series. So people are going to cross, characters are going to meet. It's going to be.
But the main thing is that there's something for everyone. That's the main thing. And in this episode alone, they gave everything for every fan. The new fan, the Obies, every person who complained about certain issues in Star Wars, they gave it in this episode.
Yep, definitely.
So yeah, I definitely agree. They opened up Pandora's box a little bit, but we gotta break everything down. I gotta tell you guys, I had really fun. We're dropping a video tomorrow, which I definitely want to touch on later, of my top 10 pop wants from Mandalorian season 2.
So you can go crazy on them.
Oh yeah, right off the bat, I want to get one from you guys. I want to see if it made my top 10. It was hard actually sitting down and only picking 10 pops or 10 variations of a pop. So for both of you guys, and I know we got some Mando Monday drops today. I'm gonna miss the Mando Mondays for sure. But if there's one pop now that we have season 2 completely over with, what would you want?
Boba Fett.
Yeah.
Return of Boba Fett. You know, he has 2 different color armors. Actually, look, Cobb Vanth had the armor in the beginning, and then he changed it when he got the armor later on. So there's gonna be 2 versions. Look, there's got to be at least 15 pops that are going to drop for this coming up, because now there's no more spoilers. Everything's out of the bag. So maybe by the end of the week, or maybe right after Christmas, they'll have going in February and March, they'll drop the new wave. But Boba Fett and maybe Ahsoka, definitely.
I think those are 2 characters we're definitely going to get. So what about
Ahsoka pops out there? Wow. Well, I think I'd love to see a Dark Trooper pop show up. I think that would be an awesome pop to have. And I want a TV moment with Gideon versus Mando.
Okay, all right.
I think that would be with the Beskar Pike and the Darksaber. I think that would be a great, kind of like what they did with the Obi-Wan Anakin Mustafar movie moment. I think if we got that, I think that'd be amazing.
And speaking of that movie moment, really quick, that pop, if you guys are not tracking that pop is about to skyrocket once again, because we know in the Obi-Wan series, we're going to get a rematch between Obi-Wan and Darth Vader / Anakin Skywalker. So that pop in particular is just going to keep going through the roof. One pop, so I sat down and I really thought about it. We filmed the video last night and I really wanted to, give a wide variety of characters, wide variety of ideas for the video. And one of the things I came up with was, it seems like they do a lot of limited pieces for popular characters. And I would love to see like a limited piece Trapper Wolf, just somebody who maybe doesn't get a lot of love, but because of what Dave Filoni did for the Star Wars universe, the Star Wars family right now, like I just think it would be so cool to get not just him, but him and his own X-Wing, do a different variation of a New Republic X-Wing from the show.
So
give us that pop ride.
How about this?
Trapper Wolf pop ride is what you want.
Trapper Wolf pop ride, exactly.
How about a 3-pack of Dave Filoni, Jon Favreau, and George Lucas, limited edition 3-pack?
Oh, like the directors, like they already did with Taika Waititi and all that. Oh, that would be insane.
George Lucas pop in general, I think, hasn't been done. So
yeah, how do we not have a George? If we have a Walt Disney pop now, we have to have a George Lucas pop.
Well, there's no Spielberg either, though.
Not yet.
Yeah, so I think they haven't touched on those director lines, and I think those ones, if they're going to make them, they got to be limited edition pieces.
Absolutely, yeah. Din Djarin with a Darksaber, that would be that's a given. That's going to happen. All right, so let's jump right into the episode. This was the finale. I was excited right away when I turned on the TV and I saw, all right, 48 minutes with the recap. All right, we got some meat here, and it opened up, action.
Pretty right into it, yeah.
Yeah. And that's something that I think it's a pattern we've seen throughout this show. And I think it's a recipe for success when you are so confident with your storyline, your plot, the meat of your show that you're like, boom, right into the action, no fluff. And for the most part, now that we can talk about everything going on, we didn't get a whole lot of fluff. Every episode had a purpose. Every person he met, for the most part, helped him in his journey. Every event was significant into getting to the finale. Which we're going to break down tonight. So we jumped right into the action. We had, of course, no more Razor Crest. Mando and his crew are in. They're hitching a ride on the Slave One with Boba Fett at the wheel. And they were chasing Dr. Pershing being shuttled in the Empire shuttle there. And it wasn't going to stand a chance against Slave One. With the amount of weapons on board and, of course, Boba Fett at the helm, Couple shots they were able to dodge, but they were not able to get away from that ion cannon.
And that's a first for Slave One. We weren't aware they was equipped with ion cannons before.
No,
they haven't used them prior. So,
and who knows what other weapons are on there that we.
I think they were shocked that a ship that size had them. Like the pilots seemed confused when they got hit by an ion cannon. Because if you remember in Empire Strikes Back, the Rebels' ion cannon was this massive gun on the ground plan of the base, and it took a lot of energy just to fire that thing. They had to shut down the shields. Yeah. So I think the fact that Fett's got a compressed one, it says alone for his capabilities and what he's got.
This year, they've showed Slave One in many angles. Inside, how it goes up close when they shot down the ship, and he went in front of it. It flew above the ship. You got to see it up. So different angles with the Slave One, and the dimensions are really cool. On that this ship is awesome.
Yeah.
That I did buy the vintage. It came out today. I bought it.
You did? Oh yeah. How much was that, by the way?
$149.
Oh man, you weren't kidding. All this stuff is making us poor for sure.
Mm-hmm.
What's up, Nick? What's going on? I'm really hoping we get some kind of. You think they might do like a HasLab version of the Slave One at some point because we got the Razor Crest?
Maybe, but I don't think so because if they did this ship, I think it was like a re-release of the same ship they just had. So maybe down the road, maybe next year.
Yeah,
could be.
Yeah, they already have 2 Slave One Lego sets, so I'd be surprised if we got another one.
There's a lot of Slave One Lego sets, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, there's at least 2. Yeah, there might be more that I just don't know about. And of course, we have the Razor Crest Lego set. So I think we're good for a while.
I have 3 different ones on the Slave One.
Oh, okay, yeah. So there's a couple.
Count Django's version, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so the shuttle was really no match for the Slave One. They were able to dismantle it and board pretty quickly, or disable it, excuse me, and board pretty quickly. And surprisingly, the pilot shot the co-pilot as right after he grabbed Dr. Pershing and said, do you guys know who this is? Like, before you think about what you're doing. But that didn't really stop Cara Dune.
Yes,
he pushed your buttons too.
Yeah.
Yeah, he got into a head about Alderaan, and he called her terrorists. All those people that died on the Death Star, and actually goes, which one?
Yeah.
That was cool.
I like the subtle, sarcastic, undercut throwbacks that they do. It just proves to you how well thought out the show really is.
Oh yeah, and they're taking their war and their history into effect, definitely.
Yeah,
that's what Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau know their history, and we're getting stuff from books, and it's not like overlapping. Like the books are connecting to the TV show, which makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
They weren't doing that before. They would put something out, and it's like, wait a minute, that doesn't make any sense, and then they have to recon things, and so now they're doing it now, which is awesome.
Yeah.
But,
and sure enough, after we disable the ship, Boba and Mando, they got to go get some more team members for this epic mission. And you kind of figured that, the other Mandalorians were going to come into play at some point. And sure enough, they have to go. The planet name is escaping me at the moment, where they go back and grab Bo-Katan and Casca Reeves. And no Axe Woves. Did you guys know anything about that, or why he wasn't in the episode?
They have memes saying that he went to the bathroom.
And he came back and Bo-Katan was gone.
He took off without him.
Yeah.
No, the same thing with Greef Karga. He didn't show up. He's there, but he wasn't with the group. So they'll explain it probably later on.
Yeah, but, he was off to the side doing something else.
Yeah, he could have been. Well, you notice Bo-Katan's ship was parked there when they landed.
Yes.
But the last time we saw them, they stole that Imperial shuttle. So he may still be having that and taking that somewhere.
Right.
Maybe he did.
He probably took that back to where they needed that for Mandalore, and Bo-Katan stayed with her ship, and then they took off, and now they're where they were at, where they met up with, where Din and Boba met up with them.
So yes, they. I think we're going to go into more of Cara Dune's backstory. I think she's going to appear more in the Rangers of the New Republic show now that she's kind of change teams a little bit. So we're definitely going to get more of Cara Dune in the future. So why did the Night Owl girl get the best of Boba Fett? I don't think she got the best of Boba Fett. It was a nice, Casca, and I liked how Boba was calling Bo-Katan princess. I thought that was fun.
Yeah,
I like the fact that he, because she told him, he goes, this is my father's. You mean your donor?
Yeah. That was a nice.
He goes, that'll be the last one you hear too.
And
that was awesome.
Yeah.
And sure enough, the verbal jabs turn into, fisticuffs, and Casca and Boba start going at it. But in no way, I think if I'm Casca, I'm like, what are you doing going up against Boba Fett? He's in his 60s and he's still got it. I mean,
he
didn't best in it.
No, there wasn't a besting.
No.
Well, look, you have to make it some dramatic how they're just sitting there watching both of them fight.
Yeah.
And that's when Bo-Katan is like, if we had this much fight in us, we could have. See, it brings you to the point that Mandalore is still under siege.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the next big story arc that's coming. But that fight was cool with Boba Fett. I was like, look, she's doing her wrestling moves on Boba Fett.
Yeah.
But no, and it basically ended in a stalemate. They both had their flamethrowers going at each other, and Bo-Katan basically told them to quit fighting like little children. And then we kind of got some foreshadowing into what season 3 and possibly season 4 is going to be about, with the Siege of Mandalore and everything going on with that. And we have to get into that later on with the events of this episode. But reluctantly, it was actually interesting too. Mando comes out, and I felt like this was the first time in the season where he was very direct and go, "I need your help." Other episodes he got help from other characters, but it was like, he was already covered in mud, or spiders were crawling on, the Razor Crest. Like, it was like, obviously this guy needs help. But for this time, he was like, I need your help.
Well,
he was on business.
Yeah, what the funny thing is that she right away she was like, you can't find Moff Gideon because I have his coordinates. You do, and then she was like, then the whole Darksaber thing came into play. But it's like what she told Boba Fett about Mando. He goes, I don't care about that. He goes, but wasn't it funny in the episode when he came back? He's like, look, my father's a Mandalorian, and he was he seemed like he cared, but then he's like, I don't care about Mandalore. I just care. Like he was helping Mando, but he has his own agenda.
Definitely.
Which later on we'll find out about.
Yeah. And he held, and part of this whole thing of why Boba is even with Mando is he's just holding up his end of the bargain with getting his armor back. So he's just fulfilling the end of a deal. And he doesn't care about any of that. But as we're getting that conversation, Casca throws in a crucial element, because Bo-Katan's like, oh, the Darksaber can cut through anything. And she goes, almost anything, which is kind of a key point that is later on proven in the episode. But Bo-Katan, Casca, they go off with Boba and Mando. They rendezvous with the shuttle, Cara Dune, Fennec Shen, and they plan out their mission, their attack, the finale, and the final assault on Moff Gideon's light cruiser, or whatever it's called. And luckily, it was very convenient that they had Dr. Pershing, because they wouldn't have been able to get the information that they needed without him there.
He gave it to him freely. Like, he's like, these are the Dark Troopers and this and that. The child's chambers right here. So
Pershing just wants to survive. He even did that back in episode 1, season 3. He was all about the kid. He was like, look, don't hurt it. It's just a child. I didn't want to hurt it. Take it. Go ahead. I don't care. The few times Pershing's shown up, he shows he has no real allegiance. He's a scientist first and foremost. He doesn't care what side he's on.
Right.
And if it's going to keep him alive, he's going to go to whoever's going to keep him alive.
Yeah.
So Gideon at that point didn't have his grasp on him. So if he gives up the info, it's not a big deal to him.
So,
but it's kind of funny how Bo-Katan told Mando, Gideon's mine, because she has her agenda.
Yeah. So everybody has their own. Yeah, everybody has their own.
She wasn't in it for the kid at all. She knew it, but he had the info that she needed to get Gideon. So
So I couldn't agree more with Nick. He said Star Wars chicks get it done. Well, they definitely got it done in this episode, which was pretty cool. And we'll have to talk about in a little bit. No, we definitely had we have some really strong female characters in the Star Wars universe, which I think
that whole raiding party was all females minus Din.
Yeah, and we had
Listen
some
to me.
throwbacks. We had some throwbacks like Avengers Endgame when we had that big scene, where all the different female superheroes were getting in on the action. That's immediately what I thought of when I saw the four women kicking ass.
And they did it for the women movement. They did it for them to say, listen, here, 4 strong women going in, kicking butt, man, and doing their thing. And so nobody can complain.
Oh, well, it wasn't even that. I just felt like you've developed. It was great with the story. Like you've developed Bo-Katan. Of course, she's got her partner Kotzka. Fennec Shen, she's had her own storyline with Boba Fett, and of course, Cara Dune's been, she's an OG when it comes to the Mandalorian. So you've developed 4, pretty strong characters. So to see them all in action in one scene, I just think it was awesome.
And the fans love them all too. There's no hate towards any of those characters.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to some more Bo-Katan pops. So we definitely need some more pops of these amazing characters. So Adam Glenn's in the house. What's up, Adam Glenn?
We need a Bo-Katan pop without a helmet.
Yes, absolutely. We need an unmasked Bo-Katan pop because that was such a significant point in the show, in the series so far. So I really hope we get that. Oh, no worries. I do that from time to time. No worries, Adam. So yeah, Dr. Pershing, he gives up a lot of information, where the child is, where the Dark Troopers are, even some details about the Dark Troopers, about how long, what temperature they're kept at, and how long it takes from the power up. I mean, he gave them everything except for the keys to Moff's cruiser. If he was just trying to stay alive, I mean, he didn't have really much left to give.
Look, I don't think he's a bad person. I think knowing that he was in the right hands, that he was given the information. No, look, first of all, who is the good guys? Like again, we mentioned this a long time ago. Everybody has an agenda. Sometimes the agendas from the bad guys might sound a little sane compared to the good guys.
It's a long-standing Star Wars lingo from Obi-Wan Kenobi and Return of the Jedi. It's all from a certain point of view.
Yep.
It depends on that point of view that you have is what you're seeing and what you're doing.
Yeah. Exactly. And, you're getting paid and no one's shooting at you. Well, it's a job.
So they go into the hyperdrive to go towards the ship. And I like when Bo-Katan told Boba, make sure.
Make sure it look good. Yeah.
He goes, oh, I'll make it look good, princess.
Yeah. He got the princess jab in her again. So it was pretty cool. We had this, like Trojan horse kind of set up with this storyline. And of course, they start relaying to the bridge on Moff Gideon's cruiser that they're under attack. Moff Gideon wastes no time, says, launch some TIE fighters. They instruct the shuttle to not go down whatever it was, the tunnel of the
launch tube.
Yeah, the launch tube of the cruiser. Thank you. And they managed to get 2 TIE fighters out, and then they have to call off the third, as it's clear Bo-Katan is not listening to their orders, and she's not stopping. She's going right down the launch tube.
A little side note. That tube, when they had the TIE fighters come out, that's an homage to Battlestar Galactica.
Oh, okay. Nice.
When the ships come out into the tube and they shoot out. So Dave Filoni knows his sci-fi stuff. So little homage there.
That's why he's making the big bucks. So General Grievous says, I want a Boba Fett pop with the Tusken staff thingy. Yeah, I think that's definitely a possibility. Merry Christmas, guys, to everybody who's just jumping in on the stream. So the who is the one thing I didn't find out tonight that I wanted to ask you guys, the Imperial officer who was standing in the hangar of the launch tube, he looked like somebody, but I couldn't put my finger on it.
I'm trying to think. Another comedian, I think. I'm not sure.
Yeah, he looked like someone familiar. He didn't really have too much dialogue. I just felt like, there's been several cameos throughout the show of different people. I forgot to look that up. I'll have to check on that after the stream. But anyway, so Bo-Katan, they land the shuttle inside Moff Gideon's ship. Yeah, land. It was like a soft crash landing inside.
The crash you can walk away from is a good landing.
Yeah, exactly. And then Boba Fett, he takes care of the TIE fighters. No problem.
Real quick. Too.
And then
he was taken before, and then he just snaps his fingers, fires off a couple shots, and they're done. And then he takes off. Yeah, and we don't see him again for the rest of the episode, for at least the length of the episode. We see him in the post credits, but and that was it. So it's kind of curious, where did he go? We know he rendezvous with Fennec at some point.
That was his part of the plan, I think. That was his part, and then he was probably when they took control of the ship. I'm sure they called him, and he was going to come back in and pick him up.
Well,
yeah,
look,
that was it. We didn't see him ever.
The whole theory with that too. Really think about it. To the events that happened, Boba Fett couldn't be on the ship.
No.
Yeah, it would have been ended that way.
It's true.
They had like a meme. Somebody in the car, Boba Fett going by, and you see they're looking at each other's car going by. So
that's awesome. Oh yeah.
But there's reasons that they do that because, I was reading something that a lot of things that are foreshadowing, and people are like, but how come you didn't do it? It's gonna happen. Like something is gonna happen, and I'm gonna, after we talk about that, I got something I gotta say because I think that the way it might be going, which could be really cool if they do it that way. With all the stories, because all the old comic books are coming back into canon.
Yeah.
And they're taking stories from individual story plots. And when we get towards the end, it could be pretty cool what they could be doing. It'd be foreshadowing.
No, absolutely. Damie, what's up? Welcome to the stream. So Bo-Katan and the landing party, they're officially inside the vessel. They've already just decided that they're going to split up into two groups. The badass women of our group here, Cara Dune, Fennec, Bo-Katan, and Casca Reeves are they're going to be the main party. They're going to distract everyone. They're just taking out stormtroopers left and right.
It's like a video game. The numbers are going up.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. And the plan is Mando is going to sneak off and go on his own and rescue the child, which is, of course, the title of this episode, The Rescue. His primary weapon is he's got a blaster, but he also has that infamous Beskar steel spear, which we're going to see him use. And at this point, it's all a race to get as far as we can before the Dark Troopers are fully activated, because at this point, Moff Gideon has given the order for the Dark Troopers to be activated. But as we found out from Dr. Pershing, we need a couple minutes for them to be all fired up.
He did not hesitate either. As soon as he heard that shuttle come in, he fired him right up.
No, and that was just kind of like it just kept the pace of the episode. My heart was pumping. I was excited. So it was a cool little detail there.
No, it's kind of cool because then when Mando gets to the door just opens. He's like, no.
Yeah.
He shuts it. But then you see how strong.
Yeah.
Just like,
you saw definitely how strong they were. Oof. I was waiting for at least his visor to crack.
Something.
That Dark Trooper.
Yeah.
Or a dent in the helmet or something. I was waiting to have him to have his own dent to match.
He felt that. He felt
that. He definitely felt that.
The helmet,
but even though the helmet didn't dent, you saw he was going back.
The pipes behind him. Yeah, there was some serious poundage going on there.
And it was kind of cool. It was a nice little callback to Jon Favreau's Iron Man days,
Yes.
Seeing this Iron Man droid basically that has been, it's about as close as we'll get to Iron Man in the Star Wars universe. Definitely need a pop of a Dark Trooper. If we don't get a Dark Trooper, I don't know what Funko's doing.
A chrome one. Limited edition chrome.
Black chrome, that would be nice.
Black chrome would be cool. For once, I feel like black chrome has not looked good on a lot of pops. But on this pop with the red eyes and all the details, it could look very cool.
If you notice, the faces look like Vader. It reminisced the Vader face, which when you really see it up close, which is really cool.
Yeah, exactly. So we have a pretty epic battle between Mando and the Dark Trooper, and it's very ironic in the way the story has gone that all of Mando's weapons, all his pistol, and if he had his rifle, it would have been rendered useless against the Dark Trooper. So thankfully he had the Beskar spear, because that was the only thing that was going to take out the Dark Trooper.
And even that, it barely did it. I mean,
he was getting his butt kicked. He got himself thrown 2 or 3 times.
My wife turned to me. She goes, "Where'd he get that?" I said, "He got thrown on the floor. It was on the floor. He got thrown next to it. That's where he got it." because
Yeah.
she was like, "Wow, he's getting his butt kicked."
Yeah,
He was getting thrown all over the place.
and that was just one Dark Trooper. That wasn't the other 59 of them or whatever that were waiting in there.
Gideon brought that point up later when when they were all back in. He goes, and you saw how much problems you had with one.
Yeah.
So,
but luckily he was able to fend off that one trooper.
Yeah.
And threw the other ones out into the vast of space, which
was
awesome.
That was really cool. Unique detail. I wasn't sure at that point. I was like, all right, the Dark Troopers are gone, but that was kind of a waste of a buildup. So you kind of got the feeling like they were going to come back somehow. Or what I thought there was going to be, I thought at some point in the episode, Moff was going to be like, did you think that was the only chamber of Dark Troopers that we had? And then like half the ship was going to light up and there was going to be like 200 of them, you know?
Yeah.
But it was cool. But then once he beat the Dark Trooper, threw the ones out, he got to the chamber to get Grogu. And who was standing there?
Moff Gideon was waiting for him, and this was a weird scene. I don't know how you guys felt about this, but at first I was like, "What is going on?"
Well, look,
no, Gideon knew exactly what he was doing. He always does. That's one of the things that makes him a great villain, and that's what makes Giancarlo Esposito such a great actor. Like if you look at him as Gideon and as Gus Fring from Breaking Bad, he's always in control. He doesn't lose his cool.
Right.
And the only time you saw him lose his cool was at the end of the episode. And we'll talk about that later, but like that was the only time you saw him shaken.
Well, you got to look at this.
I mean, he had kind of a good reason to be.
Oh yeah.
He never wanted to kill the child anyway. That wasn't his goal. Just to extract blood for a so-called plan that we still don't know. We have an idea, but it might be something else.
Yeah, it might not be the rebirth of or the birth of Snoke or whatever. It could be something completely different than we're still in the dark for, which is cool. It gives us more. It's another Easter egg, a little foreshadowing to season 3, which I'm super pumped about. But initially, he's waving around the Darksaber, and Mando says flat, "I don't care about the Darksaber. You can keep it. I'm just here for the child." And he goes, "All right, I already got the blood, so here, take him." And of course, the child, I mean, he's had a rough day. He looks shot. He looks drained.
Yep.
He's got nothing left in him. He's just sitting there in his little baby handcuffs, which I'm sure people are very upset about.
Yes.
And he goes to grab the child, and right as he's about to, he gets whacked in the back with the Darksaber. And how did you guys feel about Mando's skills with the spear? I thought it was a little good. I mean, it was very good for somebody who's only been using this for a couple episodes.
Well, he's only had that spear for a couple of episodes. He's been trained in all sorts of weaponry with the Mandalorian way. So he's even said that weapons are his religion. He's good with a blaster, a rifle, a spear.
Yeah.
You give him anything and he'll turn it into a weapon if he needs to. So he just hasn't been training with that particular weapon, to know like the weight of it and the best way to grip and fight with it. He's still modifying his fight style with it. But it's not that he's not trained in any kind of combat in that form at all.
Yeah, exactly.
But they said that the Darksaber really is a strong weapon. They said that if you keep using it, everything has to have a bending point. Beskar can't be. If that's the case, everybody and their brother will have.
I was waiting for it to snap because he had a couple of those moments where it was crossed, and they did real good showing that Beskar heating up, and we know it will melt to mold.
Of course.
Yeah.
So I was waiting for him to cut through it, and then Mando to have 2 sticks and go at him like Nightwing.
Yeah, that would have been pretty cool.
That would have been cool.
But I think that would have negated everything they've been building up and saying with how valuable Beskar is, how everybody wants it, and how formidable it is as a material. I don't think they would have done that. But that would have been cool. I'm always down for a little Nightwing action. But how did you guys feel about the fight scene? I mean, I was a little underwhelmed with Moff Gideon's fighting ability.
Well, look, I think Moff Gideon is more talk. He's more of a manipulator. He had the weapon in his hand.
Yeah.
Yeah, the weapon to make you stronger. You have a gun, you're strong with that. But as a fighter, he might know certain things, but he would stand no chance against Mando because I don't think he was trained in that type of combat.
No.
He had the sword. Look, we still don't even know how he got the Darksaber from Bo-Katan when he first got it. So basically, he knew how to fight a little bit, but I guess he didn't know that it can't pierce Beskar, so he kind of like was going crazy, just erratic. He wasn't
thinking. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and also too with the fall of the Jedi, how often is sword play like that? The blaster is the main weapon of the galaxy, so sword play. Gideon would stand no chance against a Jedi, straight up. Like his skills are nowhere that good. But Mando's having a spear, so it's more of like a jousting match with that way. And Gideon has some abilities, but he's not fully. He can't take on a Jedi by any means necessary. No. He'd have lost that in a second.
And that's a good point. Now that we have
has been lost over generations because the Jedi are no longer there. No one needs to fight like that anymore. It's all blasters.
No, that's a really good point. So you're not having these constant battles. You're not constantly running into these types of characters.
Whereas the older Mandalorians were trained to fight Jedi, so they're used to fighting against that style. Mm-hmm. But it's a lost art now.
Yeah. Blasters are so uncivilized. But I was impressed. This is the first time, even, Joanna was sitting next to me and she's like, all right, this is the first time like Mando finally stepped up to the plate. And I was like, yeah, well, the child's on the line. I mean, he finally, a lot of times in a lot of battles, he almost lost to the sea monsters with the Duluth Trading Company sweaters on, and Bo-Katan had to come rescue him. There's been a couple moments where it was like, come on, Mando, you're the Mandalorian, step up. But he stepped up in this fight. So that was cool to see.
Well, you know what it is? He became from the beginning, his beginnings, like before he met the child, the way his fighting technique, he could hold his own. But then as time came with the child, he kind of became more laid back and less hesitant to fight, to try to avoid fighting. And you see that because, look, when he was on the ship and the child got thrown into the water, when Bo-Katan saved him, he could have easily jumped in the water, saved the kid, did all these things, but kind of hesitant since he met the child. The child changed his whole outlook on everything. So basically, he became a new person of who he was.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, becoming a dad is a big deal. So, but sure enough, he bests Moff Gideon, which is a very critical point and something that I don't know where they're going to go from here. I don't know how that's going to be figured out. But he ends up with the Darksaber and puts
then when he knocked
handcuffs.
Gideon down, Gideon said, "You're not going to kill me. This should be interesting."
Yeah. He was almost laughing. He was like, "Oh, all right. I know who's on the bridge." And it was pretty badass. He's walking onto the bridge, Moff Gideon in cuffs in front of him. The child in one hand, the Darksaber in the other hand. I have a feeling that's going to be a pop at some point. The child and the Darksaber.
You seen Bo-Katan's face? What happened?
Yeah,
she was pissed.
Yeah,
she was pissed.
Because she was very clear that
Gideon wanted Gideon all to himself.
Yeah.
He's like, "Yeah, take it." And Moff Gideon's like, "No, no, no."
Well, Gideon knew from the beginning because when he was taunting him in the cell, he goes, "Your friends are on the deck, and I'm not there, and they're panicking."
Yeah.
Because he knew going in that Bo-Katan was part of that group, and he played it exactly how he wanted it to end up, and he knew
so much. He even knew that Mando had already used his one round of whistling birds there from his wrist cannon there, which was crazy. So he was definitely on his game.
Well, look, he knows everything because he has a good mind, and he learns as he was in that part of the Empire. He was able to pick out things. That's why he was so good.
God. The smallest set of cuffs in the galaxy. Yeah, they were baby extra small there.
It makes you wonder what the heck's going on.
Yeah. Why do they have those? Yeah.
Well, they got to have them that small. I mean, imagine if they'd captured Babu Frick.
Yeah.
Small. There's creatures of all sizes out there, so they got to have different size binders.
Exactly. So we're on the bridge, and of course, we get the whole explanation with the Darksaber. It has to be won. So Bo-Katan did not get her opportunity to win back the Darksaber from Moff Gideon. And Mando doesn't see that as a problem. He goes, "Here, you can have it."
Yep. He said,
"She has to beat you in battle. Here, I kneel. Yeah, I take it."
Yeah.
He goes, No. The story is much more than the sword itself. But you know what's funny? She was handed the sword back in Rebels. When Sabine gave it to her.
I thought about that too.
They never explained that. And so basically what must have happened is that she took it and they probably didn't follow her and everything crumbled, knowing that she didn't earn it.
Yeah.
And all this time she's been trying to earn it to rise the people of Mandalore again. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens next season.
Yeah, Randy. So yeah, this is something that's definitely going to have to be explained and explored upon in the next coming season. Because as of right now, Mando's got it. You know, until we have some kind of battle or until they thoroughly explain what they're going to do, we don't know. We don't know what's going to happen. But a very cool plot twist. And then, sure enough, we get a little action. They're in control of the bridge. Weapon system has been disabled. But somebody's coming back, and that's the Dark Troopers.
Who is it? It's the Dark Troopers. There's no senses.
Yeah. No life forms. So sirens start going off, and the Dark Troopers are coming back. At first, I was like, oh, maybe it's. My first thought, to be honest, was that Grand Admiral Thrawn had shown up, and his starships were launching TIE fighters. That was my first thought. But I guess we're not there yet in the universe of this episode or of this series. So the Dark Troopers are back, like Iron Man droids flying in, and we know how lethal they are. So they pose a real threat, and everybody's bracing on the bridge for them to show up. And they're marching along. Somebody mentioned the dubstep music. That was very good. Built up the suspense. They sealed the blast doors of the bridge. Moff Gideon, he's kind of smiling. He's saying, I'm going to be the last one on this bridge, with the exception of the child. You're all going to die. And then the Dark Troopers
start pounding on that door.
Yeah, they start pounding that door.
I love the order, how formidable they are. They're all in the same lineup position, and they're all ready to go. And look, you're all sitting there, guns blazing, ready. When they come in. But remember, Din has the Darksaber. That could work on the Dark Troopers too. So we don't know. But the fact is that they're there and they're bashing in the door now.
Well, we don't. So that's a good point. But I mean, there's a lot of them. There's a whole platoon with the exception of one that fell. We don't know. Could Din and all of them taken out the Dark Troopers with one Dark saber?
Knew it too.
No, somebody that would have been a bloodbath. So, and then we get a massive surprise. Another ship has been detected. They look over and they see that it's an X-wing. And somebody, I believe that's your brother, Geekstronomy says, best line: a single X-wing, we're saved.
Yep,
I thought that was awesome. Now, once again, my first thought was not that it was going to be the character that showed up, but maybe Trapper Wolf leading a big squadron of them, and he was just a little bit further ahead in the light speed jump as opposed to all the other X-Wings. But it was only one X-Wing, and everything kind of stops for a minute. The Dark Troopers stop. You see the child's ears perk up a little bit.
And he starts looking at the cameras.
At the monitor,
yeah.
Look, let's put it this way. We didn't know up until the moment the person that was a hooded figure. We didn't know. We somewhat had an idea, maybe, but we were saying, okay, you know what? It's somebody else. Mm-hmm. We didn't know.
Nope.
And all of a sudden, the hand comes with the glove, the green lightsaber.
It was insane. When I saw the green lightsaber, I was 90% sure. And then I was like, maybe it's somebody else. Maybe it's a new character. Maybe it's somebody. But then when I saw the hand, I was like, oh.
No, see, I was up until – because Ezra finished with a green lightsaber in Rebels.
Right.
That's who I was still thinking it was. But there was one shot where you get a good look at the hilt, where he's walking down. He's still cloaked, but you can still see the grip on the blade. And I instantly knew that was Luke's.
Yeah.
And it's just, I know that handle, I know that hilt, and as soon as I saw it, I was like, nope, that's him. I couldn't believe it, but
I couldn't believe. I thought he was too this whole time. I looked at Joanna and I was like, no, he's too big for this show. He's
too big. It was too obvious. I didn't see it coming.
Yeah.
Look, they held. Look, it's kind of funny. Well, I was watching Good Day America when they had Jon Favreau and they were talking about this whole thing. They held this secret
for a year.
Social media
for a year.
Yeah.
And this was everything that you were talking about. This was everyone being blindfolded. No one knew anything about this.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if you guys saw the tweet on Friday around 9 a.m. that Mark Hamill posted.
Yep.
He said, anybody see anything good on TV? That was awesome.
Mark Hamill is a great Twitter troll when it comes to spoilers and stuff. He plays it so perfectly, and he has so much fun with his fan base. So I mean, that was just like the best thing he could have done.
Yeah.
You know, I love the music, the intense music coming when he was just mowing through the Dark Troopers, and Moff Gideon was looking, and then when he got close, he was scared.
Yeah,
I think Gideon knows him.
He knew who it was. See, that's the thing.
No, he knows who he is. Like, you know, he might not have encountered him before, but he's heard the stories. I mean, he has stories. To know. Yeah.
Well, would it be a twist if Gideon was actually stationed on the second Death Star and was one of the groups that ran past him when he's dragging Vader out and got in their own ships and took off?
That would have been cool. That would have been a cool flashback.
Well, listen, Gideon signed. Ron Carlos signed for 2 more seasons, so he's going to be around. So there could be a big twist. You're gonna look. Grand Admiral Thrawn's coming. That's the next big threat. But Moff Gideon, what is his role going to be moving in the future? Yeah. You know, he's going to be locked up in a prison. He's going to get out, but
there's going to be a reverse rescue. You know, there's going to be a rescue for Moff Gideon. You know, so that's definitely going to be a setup somehow in the next season or two. But yeah, it was. I gotta say, it was so badass. You know, now that they brought in Luke Skywalker, I mean, this is Luke Skywalker in his prime. Yeah, this is insane, and he was taking out those Dark Troopers like they were nothing.
Yeah, like they were just tin cans. And
he was.
You seen the child?
It looked like he was in like a Jedi like simulation obstacle course.
And he didn't even lose the cloak. I mean, every time you see Anakin or Obi-Wan, you know, they have to take their cloaks off to fight. Luke kept it on the whole time.
Yeah.
Look, I don't know if it was me. Did you notice that he had his black robes on from Jedi?
Yeah, he was still in his Jedi gear.
Dark side, he still has them. They thought that he would change. So basically, he probably still had the dark side in him.
Yeah.
To keep, because he was like, because you know, Mace Windu was the only other Jedi that could really carry the dark side and the dark side power and maintain his sanity. Luke probably the same thing too. But let's put it this way: when they opened the door, me and because my wife watched it later on, she's seen it. When she saw the face, she was like, "Ooh, that looks a little creepy looking."
A little odd, yeah.
It was a little odd.
But look, it's going to get better. And I think, look, everybody was happy. This is the Luke that everybody wanted for 30-plus years. Badass Luke. I think people are more disappointed that Sebastian Stan wasn't under the hood.
I thought it was him at first when he took it off.
I thought it was going to be him, and then they CGI'd his face, but he was not in the credits.
No.
And then I did some more digging, and they apparently Jon Favreau wanted him. They wanted him to do everything, to be the person, you know, basically from the neck down. But he has just been too tied up with Marvel and Falcon and Winter Soldier that he just didn't have time. So
him standing there and Din Djarin, you're a Jedi? How do you not know Luke? How do you not know
once again, his just dumbfoundedness.
Yep.
But they would have had to keep that trend going, because if he goes, "Oh, that's Luke Skywalker," then how come you don't know anything else? You know, that's Luke Skywalker, but you don't know anything else. So they had to continue him being kind of out of it, you know. So,
but let me tell you something. If you guys did not have tears in your eyes when the scene came when Grogu was going to Luke, and Din Djarin was holding him, I cried. The 3 times I watched it, I teared up more the third time around than I did the first time around.
Yeah, it was a lot of emotion.
It was sad, and it was
especially when he's like reaching for the helmet.
Yeah. And he took it off.
He takes it off.
And that's a moment they've been foreshadowing and building up to this entire season. And it was kind of funny. Like, what was that, episode 2 or 3 of this season, when Grogu was like looking up at him as he was having the soup. I mean, he's been wondering just as much as all of us, you know, when is he going to take it off? And he took it off in the presence of 7 people. I mean,
look, there's a couple of things. My thing is that even though the technology is not there yet, it's still going to get better. And for what I heard, rumors have it that could be a Luke series, Jedi Academy series, and they reached out to Sebastian Stan, and Mark Hamill gave his blessing. So
So we could finally see the buildup and the betrayal of Ben Solo and all that. That would be
Look,
sick.
that's the thing.
That would be
people
sick.
understand we're getting all this to make us happy, but all roads will still lead to the sequel trilogy, no matter what. Because you make $6 billion on 3 movies, there's no way you're going to recon those movies. And look,
you can't.
You could build around them and make story plots and make them much more interesting. But I think,
well, even touching on that, like if you looked at the concept art drawings from last episode, those pirates that were going after the things, one of the sketch drawings, the pirate on the skiff was, crap, now I'm blanking on his name, Poe Dameron. If you look on the sketch, so that's how they were trying to loop that in. But I think they realized with timeline and story arc, it wouldn't have worked for them. But they're trying. You can see them trying to fill in the gaps and
that's okay. Like Dom just said, if they build up to it, like
no one's going to go working towards it. You can see it.
There are some highlights with the sequel trilogy, like Poe Dameron being the best X-wing fighter that ever lived. I mean, he definitely has some character development and some potential arcs that they can look into further on. Same thing with Kylo Ren. Kylo Ren has so much good content and story behind him. There's no reason why they can't do any more stuff with him.
This is what I see. When they could build up into the future. Next time. Because this is what's coming out, rumblings coming out. The Mando season 3 is definitely going to be a time jump. They said that it's going to be a couple years when it does come back. So maybe go 5 years later on, 10, whatever they're going to do. There's a time jump. Grogu is going to train with Luke.
Yeah.
And he's going to become a Jedi Master down the road. Now think about this. You have a legacy character in Yoda that we grew up with. You take the best part of the Mandalorian, the child, which that's what the money maker. Bring him back later on, past episode 9. And there you go. For the future, you have a Yoda-type character for the future that people can relate on from.
Yeah, because they saw him from day one. Yeah.
Exactly. And that's how you build upon. And I think he's going to be later on. And Patty Jenkins' Rogue Squadron is going to take place after episode 9. They're going to build to the future. So all the characters you're seeing now, like the child, and stuff, that's going to be in the future. And if they make the Luke series, you're going to see him training. He didn't die with Ben Solo when he killed. When Kylo Ren killed everybody.
I think by that time, I think he's already trained enough for the fact that he's gone off on his own.
Yeah. So there's a future. They're future building. And also, if you really want to go back, I actually think in Bad Batch, when you see Bad Batch, you're going to find out who saved Grogu at the temple. And
we have to. I mean, at some point, we have to. Yeah, it's all got to tie in.
What about R2-D2?
Did you get the feeling when Luke shows up and then R2 comes out, did you get the feeling that R2 recognized him?
Yes, absolutely. The way
he looked at him and he beeped at him, I'm thinking because Anakin had R2 hanging around the Jedi temples the whole time. I'm guessing he ran into him at some point.
And R2 has his own personality, and we've already.
He's never been white.
He does his own
thing. My wife, so he knows everything.
Yeah. He knows everything.
Actually going to be R2-D2 is going to be in the High Republic series that's coming.
Yeah,
which is 200 years before Phantom Menace. So R2-D2 has been around.
Yeah.
So I believe, you know what? The possibility he could have saved Grogu, the child.
I thought of that too. R2 saved him.
Yeah. We'll see.
Yeah.
But it was epic, and seeing Luke, like I said, the Pandora's box opened. You show Luke. Now you want to build a story on that because people are going to ask. And you know how much money they can make from Disney Plus to have a Luke series?
Oh, yeah. That's insane. Yeah.
Look, it may not come now. You may see maybe 3 years down the road, but it's
after that investor call we had the other day, they're gonna have their hands full for a while.
Yeah.
Well, look, if the Mando series is gonna time jump like a few years, you have Luke training Grogu and his other Padawans are training 5 years prior. So it's going to be 5 years before. See, like they said, we're not sure what the time jump's going to be.
Well, no, he's not training yet already because if you go off of Rise of Skywalker, he's with Lando out looking for this clue on that other planet. Remember, if you're going to go off that timeline.
Yeah.
He's out adventuring still. So I think the call is probably. I think the call.
The call is the start.
What draws him to start the academy. I think Grogu's his first student. How Yoda was his master, he's now going to be the master to this species because he has that emotional attachment from being trained by Yoda. He wants to now do the right thing and train Grogu.
Right.
And that's where he wants to go.
Let me ask you a question now. Do you think now that they brought Luke into the series and we might get a series, do you think Mara Jade is going to come? Do you think they're going to give him the wife that he was going to have? And then that's the reason why Kylo killed everybody.
I think they have to at some point.
Yeah, I had like a 1 in a million shot that Mara Jade might have been the one to show up from the call and introduce her that way. She was one of those really dark horses that I had in the line for people that could show up from that call.
Right.
Well, look, you got to understand, Palpatine is very funny. He had so many assassins that worked for him, like the rule of two didn't apply to him. Yeah. Like in the comic book, the assassin he has fighting Vader, that was from the Rise of Skywalker, the Sith assassin that killed Rey's father, and he wound up dying, falling in the tunnel looking for the dagger. That particular assassin is fighting Vader. So Palpatine had all these guys coming from all over the place. So another thing too is, think about this: the cloning situation. It might not be Snoke. There could be a possibility that the cloning clones to be force sensitive and maybe have, like, say, a Darth Maul come back, a Dark Talon, have somebody physical that can carry the force. Like I'm saying, the Snoke thing could be later on. But all right, another thing, the Ahsoka series, you see the symbol? That's the world between world symbol.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's got to be exploring, her finding Ezra.
There could be some time changing.
Yeah.
We don't know. You can recon things, change things up, but the story can still be parallel, but make things different. So people get a different outlook on, like, saying, you know what? Oh, shit, no. Luke, that's why he went mad. Oh, that's why this one acted like this.
Yeah.
Give it a reason. Because
there was that first theory that was kicking around too at the end of Force Awakens when Rey shows up to Luke. There was always that theory that Luke was standing near a grave. It never confirmed or denied that. And that could be, they could work that into, that was where Mara Jade's buried. Yeah. After everything fell apart, that's where he left. He took her body with him, and that's where he stayed.
Yeah, this is a good theory too. It could also be Vader they're trying to clone, or evil versions of Jedi. That'd be pretty cool.
Look, the cloning process is like the Winter Soldier process. They had all those Winter Soldiers. There's Jedis that are in hibernation somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I'm thinking that you're going to get a bunch of new characters down the road. And leading to The Force Awakens, there's 30 years. Anything can happen in 30 years.
Yeah. Well, Vader had all those Inquisitors, too. So there's still some Inquisitors floating around out there, too.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah. Look, let's put it this way. There's Dark Force users like the Knights of Ren. You have people, like, there are Jedis out there that are still hiding that can come out. Look,
well, they had to. I mean, after Order 66, they don't know when it's safe to come out. So they're
not coming out.
They just have to hide as long as they can.
Look, and like when Thrawn coming, and if they go with the Herald of the Empire, if they do that storyline, there's a cloning process too, where Thrawn has some crazy clones, and on top of that, he has Ezra. Who's to say that Ezra's not the crazy person in that series? That he's the evil Jedi that Ahsoka has to fight. Wouldn't that be ironic?
Yeah, you never know.
Because you don't know what happened. Look, there's a lot of fun that's going to happen, and I'm enjoying the ride.
So, Nick, I don't think they're going to be doing any kind of multiverse. There's a difference between multiverse and different perspectives in the same timeline. So I don't think they'll be doing a multiverse. Marvel's massive. Somebody made a comparison online. We are basically at the point of like Iron Man 2 in terms of comparing Disney to Star Wars right now. Like this, which is awesome because we just had the amazing ride from Iron Man to Endgame. And now we have, Mando to, we don't even know what the Endgame is because we just have all these little pieces that we know we're going to get. I think it's just going to be insane. And I think at some point we're going to have like a mega movie at the end, or just a massive series finale of Mando, or who knows, you know?
Look, people have to understand that, you know, when Disney first purchased Star Wars, they seen it as a moneymaker, not the story what people wanted.
Yeah.
They put these out without thinking, the sequel trilogy without thinking. Because, hey, look, it still made $6 billion. Star Wars fans still want to go see it. As much as they hated it, they want to go see it. Now, Kevin Feige came aboard, did some structuring on their series and TV shows. Now, I think what they're going to do is they're going to have a massive crossover major event that's going to be in the movies.
Yeah.
That is going to come with that. And Grand Admiral Thrawn is going to be the Thanos, which they're going to build him up to be really powerful.
It's going to, the Chiss. They're going to bring the entire Chiss nation into it.
I think the outcome is going to be the Vong War. They'll call it the Chiss. You know, the Chris, whatever, they changed the name, but the Vong. Yeah. They're going to come, and it's going to bring everybody together to fight that common foe. And Thrawn Thrawn was never a bad guy. He only went with the Empire because the Empire was strong to save his people. So, not a bad guy. But
it all depends on your perspective.
Well, speaking of perspective, so let's take a break from Mando for a minute, and let's talk about the end scene after the credits that we saw with Boba Fett and Fennec Shen taking out Bib Fortuna in Jabba's palace.
He let himself go in 5 years.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Look, my thing, it's kind of funny. When I watched the episode, right, I got a text from somebody and he was like, "Oh my God, did you see Luke Skywalker?" I'm like, "Yeah, Luke Skywalker." He goes, "Did you see the end credit scene?" I'm like, "What?
You didn't see it? Oh my God.
Listen to me.
You of all people.
Because I was going to go back and rewatch it again. I wanted to rewatch it again. And he told me, I said, "Wait, let me see this." I sat there and went, holy. I was like, all right, now this is going to get good. And now.
Yep. And that's why they didn't announce it at the.
That's why.
The meeting.
Yeah.
And it confused a lot of people. We just got the word today that it's actually coming out, and then Mando 3 goes into production after Boba Fett. So Mando 3 might not happen until.
It's going to be probably beginning of 2022. Yeah.
But.
Because they're not going to have both shows going on at the same time. So
this is going to be. Look, I have a feeling there's going to be a second season. People are saying no. I think Boba Fett's going to get a second season.
No, because it's going to make too much money, and they're going to be like, yeah, let's do another season.
Look, I see this. If they go the route of The Godfather and Sopranos, he has the new crime boss of Tatooine, new crime boss. They could take storylines from the Shadows of the Empire and Jabba's tales and put that. You could still have, he could still go out and try to assassinate Luke.
Yeah.
But have it all. Look, there's a foreshadowing him sitting on that throne. As much as, another thing too is with Mandalore, he don't care about Mandalore. He wants the throne. He's like, you know what? I have a throne now, and I'm definitely worthy of taking the throne, maybe in Mandalore too. So,
well, he might be like he's going to start on Tatooine, and then he's going to go after a group like Crimson Dawn.
Yes,
and take those guys out because those guys are still lingering out there too. There's so many other factors of thieves, pirates, and scoundrels out there. He's going to start
building up a merchant. Look, everybody's getting clans. Think about it. Mando has his clan. Boba Fett will get his clan of assassins and bounty hunters.
Yep, and he's already got a good start with Fennec. I mean, she's a hell of a shot.
Yeah. Oh, that's his right-hand woman. I don't know about you. She took that the blue alcohol, which is made of the shrimps from the planet, the Sanctuary, the episode Sanctuary, with those blue shrimps. That's the drink that they drink. It's made from that shrimp. She's drinking it. She's got robotic parts in her body.
Yeah, I was curious about that. I was like, does it just skip that part of her body, or?
But it made me laugh. But those little nitpick things. But I'll tell you one thing. Boba Fett looked badass sitting in that throne.
Yeah. You got to show off your shirt for everybody.
Oh.
Yeah, because Pretty badass.
There you go. That's pretty much for you. That's pretty much it.
Yeah. Game of Bounty.
Game of Bounties.
Nice.
Boba, you're still alive. I heard the rumors.
Yeah.
They shot him.
Didn't even talk. Just shot him straight up.
Well, listen. Now they have to explain how he survived because he was on the ship with Jabba the Hutt.
Yeah.
And same thing with Bosk. So Bosk might be coming back too. But how did they survive? Did they jump off the ship before it blew up?
I'm sure that's gonna have to be addressed in the book of
3PO and R2 got off. It's not to say that Bib didn't jump ship too.
Yeah.
Hid in the sand, they picked up R2 and 3PO. He could have buried himself and just kind of hung out.
That's
but
all
if
right.
you go up the Tales of the Bounty Hunter book, he got on another skiff and took off.
Yeah.
Well, look.
Then he ate ice cream for 5 years.
Let me tell
I
you.
saw a meme that showed Bib Fortuna on the throne. It said, "Day one a Whopper."
Yeah.
Hey, he also said McClunky.
Yeah, I heard the McClunky too.
It's like a curse word.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you see now, how cool would this be? How about Hondo shows up in the Boba Fett series?
He could.
All the bounty hunters and pirates it's gonna be all the villainy and scum.
Yeah.
Hondo's got to be old though. He's getting up there because he was kind of older in Rebels when they brought him in.
Yeah, but he winds up. Him and Chewbacca are friends. Han Solo trusted him with the ship, so he got better. Like he's around, and he might be old, but I think his species ages differently. Like Yoda. Look at Yoda; he's 50 years old.
Yeah.
Hondo.
Well, then they could use that and explain all the stuff from Force Awakens too. How Han loses the Falcon. Maybe Fett pays somebody to go steal that thing and be like, "Oh, go dump it out here. I don't care what you do with it. I just don't want to see it, and I don't want him to have it."
Yeah, so that could be another way they just tie in stuff to the sequel trilogy. Which anything they do to tie in Episode 7, I thought Episode 7 was pretty good. It wasn't terrible.
Yeah. Look, it wasn't bad. I enjoyed it because it was Star Wars. People complained because it was too similar to New Hope, and then they complained that Rian Johnson's Last Jedi was too similar, was totally new. So they complain. It's Star Wars. To the fandom out there, enjoy.
Yeah,
enjoy it.
There's always going to be somebody nitpicking everything, but I think yeah, if they start grouping in like, was it the Guavian Death Gang that showed up on the ship that Han had with I forget what they're called, but you know what I'm talking about. But if that gang is like another part of they introduce that gang and show how bad that they are, how truly like evil that group is, how, and then it might show like how deep Solo really was into crap, at that point, and how kind of screwed he was.
Hey, look, even though Boba has a throne now, he's the crime lord. He's going after Han Solo and Luke. You know that. That was the plan.
If we get, we already got Luke, so I feel like anybody's fair game now. I never thought we'd have any like mainstream characters like Luke Skywalker or Han Solo, but anybody's game.
Yeah.
Look, I would not mind them recasting. They recasted Han Solo, recast Luke, and you get somebody that looks like Princess Leia. They'll give the blessing.
You just bring Billy Lord in and she'd do it.
Yeah.
Oh, Billy Lord, definitely. Because she, she could do her, or you could do, who actually looks like her young, Bobby Brown from Stranger Things. She looks.
Oh yeah, Millie Bobby Brown. Yeah, a little bit.
So,
but if they did that, because Millie Bobby Brown is already so famous, forget it. Like they would just make hand over fist because all the kids that love her, forget about it.
Oh yeah. So they could do it. See, I think the fans will embrace that. Like I think. Look, I'm going to tell you this right now. Solo was a great movie. I enjoyed Solo. I thought Solo was a better movie than Rogue One, but Rogue One had an epic ending, which made Rogue One great.
I thought Rogue One was awesome just because they produced such an amazing Star Wars movie without any characters that we already loved.
That's not true. Well, already loved, yeah, but I think Rogue One captured the magic that Mando's capturing. It's a separate storyline in the main storyline with a couple of brushings of characters. Yeah, you had Tarkin, and you had Vader and Leia at the end, but it was in the universe. And I think the problem that they did with the sequel trilogy is they didn't give it that fan service that fans are wanting to reference all those old characters. Yeah, like Han and Chewie kind of got their movie in Force Awakens, but like they gave us a Luke that we didn't want to see. Like, we weren't ready to see that yet. We needed to see the Luke that we saw Friday. We needed to see that. We need Luke in his full glory. So I think by building up to that, if they had done if they build up a good series with Luke where we can see him like in his prime, and then we see him go down that path, we'll be okay with how he was in Last Jedi.
Look, the reason why people complained,
patched up that wound a little bit.
Yeah, I know. I agree.
Why people really complained with the Last Jedi. I mean, with the sequel trilogy, the legacy characters weren't together. They didn't have that one big mission together. If they did that, I think people would have embraced it a lot more. They just wanted to put new characters. Hey, look, you got to understand Disney. Disney wanted to make their own characters so they could have their own legacy characters. That was the idea. The money-making, money grab. Look, Rey's character, I like the concept. I didn't like the way they used the character and made her character the most powerful Jedi. Didn't like that.
Yeah, no.
Poe Dameron, I thought Finn was underused, and Finn could have been a great character. He was a First Order soldier, which they never even got in why the First Order takes these characters, takes the youngs and makes them a soldier. That was that. There was so much that they could have did that they didn't do, and Kathleen Kennedy and JJ, we can't make the fans happy. We can't do this, but Filoni and
Favreau. Did you guys see all the memes? Did you guys see all the memes of him and Favreau going, "Hold my beer"?
Nope. Well, there was one with Favreau where it's like wants to make a Christmas movie, Elf.
Yeah.
Wants to make a superhero movie, Iron Man. Wants to fix Star Wars, Mando. It's like he's got the Midas touch.
Nothing he can't do.
No.
But when it comes to sequel trilogy, there's 3 words in my opinion. It's lack of development. There's nothing wrong with new characters. Kylo Ren, awesome. Call back to, the old timeline. Rey could have been cool. Finn, like you just mentioned, all these new characters, when you throw in a lot of new, you got to build them up. Why, as fans, as viewers, do we need to care about this character? It's simple storytelling 101 that it lacked. And they just jumped into it and they said, it's Star Wars. We'll throw it up on the screen that people will love it because it says Star Wars. And that's not always true.
Look, it showed it. It proved that it didn't work. Now it's proving that it is working. And now that they're taking EU stories and all that stuff and combining it with the new stories, we're going to be in one hell of a ride because there's a lot.
Yep.
And
they're using the movies as the frame of the puzzle. Now they're going to start giving us all the pieces in the middle.
Yes.
Right.
Like the frame's been built, they've just got to fill it in.
Yeah, we just got to go out and we got to get each Avenger, build it up, and we'll see Thrawn in the final battle. Probably.
You might get Thrawn. You might get Thrawn's face at the end of Mando 3. That's what you might get.
I thought we were going to get him at the end of Mando 2, but this was so much better with getting the Boba Fett drop.
You know what? What we got was perfect because it wasn't too much, and the season was built up to the point that it went. And you brought Luke, and it turned out to be a big success. Bringing Luke in, people were happy. The world was happy.
People were crying. I was just jumping from live stream to live stream, all these giant Star Wars channels, and people are just sobbing like crazy, like, oh my God, it's Luke. And like, don't get me wrong, I was very happy that Luke Skywalker showed up. Worthy of me crying on camera in front of 60,000 people? I don't know.
You get more clicks, you'll have 1,000 more, maybe 2,000 subscribers.
Yeah, I mean, hey, I'll start crying.
All right, I'm going to play the other side of the coin because there was a part of me that I loved Luke showing up, but there was a part of me that also wanted it to be somebody else.
Yes,
only because
I did kind of want.
Mando has been a separate entity from the main storyline, and there's been little crosses here and there with the main characters. Like, oh, that's a cool reference. That's neat. Okay, they tied it in. The Cobb Vanth and the Death Star blowing up. But I think like what it kind of killed for me was, all right, now it's part of the main line. And I kind of liked it being a little bit separate in its own thing, but bringing Luke into it, like that was the only and it's not a major fall. It's just like one little like scuff on the dashboard. You know what I mean? It's not major, but to me it was just a little bit that rubbed me the wrong way a little bit on it. I wanted to see somebody else, but I was completely happy with how they did it. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
You know what?
It's just sometimes you don't want that giant character to come in because Din Djarin is a new character along with a whole slew of other new characters. Somebody just comes in with it's like a celebrity coming into a new school. It's like, well, they already have fame. We already know who they are. They're awesome. It kind of takes away, but I don't know. In this instance, it was kind of cool. Like,
Oh, no, it was epic. I mean, but
look,
I was kind of hoping it was going to be Mace. I still thought a Mace
would have been great.
Pretty cool.
Well, it would have been great if it was Mace and Boba was still there.
Yes, exactly. If Boba was still there, and then Mace and Boba had that face-to-face, and then they just go at it, and then the credits roll. And you're like, what? Like,
who's to say at the Boba series he's not going to put hits on all the Jedi that are alive?
He has to. He has to. And his number one hit has to be Mace Windu. It has to be.
Look,
Samuel L. Jackson turned 72 years old today, and if Tamara Morrison can do it at 64 or whatever he is, then you bet
Sam Jackson would do it. If they called it, he would do it.
Look,
like
there's got to be a Jedi or something that's going to be in the Boba series that he sends him to go after Luke. Look, you don't just bring Luke in and have Boba in there. Like Boba, yes, he turned the other cheek. I knew Boba was still the evil Lord, the guy that he is. Yes, he has morals, but he has an agenda. Look, he has an agenda. You got to think about this.
He's just trying to make his way to
Luke. Han Solo got the feed. He got the best of him. He's the greatest bounty hunter in the galaxy. He lost 5 years of his life to regain his strength, to get better to this point. Watch. You're going to see Boba like you never saw him before in this series. Yeah. Robert Rodriguez is doing this. Is going to be doing a couple episodes.
In it. Yeah, I saw that.
Wow, it's going to be. I'm telling you, Shadows of the Empire or Tales from Jabba's Palace. Those storylines are going to be messed up in that. But most likely, Shadows of the Empire. We could see Dash Rendar. We could see Prince Zizar, the Crime Lord. Yeah. They're going to bring these characters in. Crimson Dawn. Look, Kira is still alive.
Kira's alive.
Yeah. She's still alive.
And they can bring her back.
She could be running Crimson Dawn because Maul's
not doing anything. Games of Thrones is over.
Yep.
So you can rest assured that he's going to be building the crime syndicates. And that's going to be his main creed. Because Boba's going for that throne on Mandalore. He is.
Yeah.
That was why he sat in the throne.
Yeah. And for everybody who doesn't know all the names that Dom just dropped, forgive, it's no big deal. We have a year to do our homework, and I don't even know everybody who just name dropped, so I got homework myself. But we got a lot of Star Wars stuff to look forward to on the horizon. Overall, were you guys pretty satisfied? Mando season 2, did it live up to the hype?
Oh, definitely. I mean, it left it gave closure, but left so much more open.
It did.
And it's not like I felt like the end of a season of end of a season of Game of Thrones. We're like, no, I can't wait another year. Like I can wait another year because they gave you that sense of closure, but it's also giving you more to look forward to. It didn't leave you completely hanging. Yeah. Like it closed some doors and opened up some new ones. Like we have no idea how it's going to end up with Bo-Katan and Mando over the Darksaber. Like they didn't touch on that once Luke showed up.
Yeah.
It was like, oh yeah, no, we're going to talk about that later. It's just there's a history. There's going to be something there.
Well, I think they just wanted to focus on the passing of Grogu.
Oh no, I completely understand that, but that leaves that lingering question in the back of your brain. You forget about it when the episode's over. You're like, oh, that was so great. It's all done. And you go, wait a minute.
Yeah.
So
we got a big
there's
problem.
A lot of stuff. The whole thing with Luke and the Academy with Grogu, the Darksaber. There's a lot of things going into next season that we're going to look forward to. That
there's
hopefully they capitalize on. This season for me,
thanks.
I gave it a 9 out of 10. And the only reason why I didn't give it a 10 out of 10, only 8 episodes, and I want more. That 8 episode stuff, and those 30-minute episodes make them 45 minutes to an hour. Stop with that 30-minute stuff. That's the only thing I gave wrong with that. Other than that, great season.
I actually think the shorter episodes are okay, just because if we always expect the 45, 48-minute episodes, I don't know. Like, I think it just keeps us on our toes to have the different lengths for each episode. I think it adds another variable as to
even those 30-minute episodes. They packed so much into them.
Yeah,
Like, I think the shortest which one was the short? Was it the Ice Planet? Was the shortest episode, or was it the one where Boba Fett comes back?
Boba Fett came back.
No, it was the one. It was Boba's episode.
Yeah, and
episode.
there was so much in that episode. And it was only 30 minutes. It felt way longer than that.
It was 19 minutes. Robert Rodriguez put the action in it to make it longer.
Yeah.
No, don't worry, Jedi John. We got plenty of good stuff planned ahead for the channel. We got lots of stuff going on next year with Star Wars that we'll be super excited to break down. Star Wars. I appreciate that, guys. You guys are awesome. We are going to take a little break from our Monday live streams. We're rolling into the new year, but don't worry, we have lots of exciting stuff planned. We're going to take a little break from Star Wars, and then moving into 2021, we have some new Marvel shows to look forward to, which would be pretty cool. So it's nice. I think it's good the way Disney's moving, so we can kind of like mentally like take a deep breath from Star Wars. We can transition to Marvel. Next summer is going to be huge for DC. Of course, we have the Wonder Woman movie on the horizon. So we have all these different.
Friday. Wonder Woman's Friday.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Oh God, what day is it?
Look,
yeah,
Wonder Woman's in 4 days.
Yeah, forgot about that.
People have to understand that we're going to have TV shows. The movies are still coming out in the movie theater. You got Venom. You got Morbius, Spider-Man 3. You have Black Widow. You have a lot of stuff coming. And the TV shows, Winter Soldier. You got WandaVision, Bad Batch. There's so much that's going to be keep our minds occupied. 2021.
Like we could do Wanda Wednesdays. I like that.
Hey,
WandaVision's in 3 weeks. I mean,
yeah, we're just taking a 3-week break, and I like Wanda Wednesdays. That's pretty cool.
Hey, did you catch the last trailer for WandaVision?
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, that looks good.
I don't think I saw it. I don't think I saw it yet.
Watch it.
So.
It's
I've been too focused. I've been like eyebrows deep in Star Wars.
Well, what do you got? You got like 19 shows to do a week. That's why you have to try to find time in the 19.
No, we do a lot. We do a lot of shows. But speaking of a lot of stuff going on, I want to thank you guys, and I have a special treat for everybody. I know I always promise a giveaway every Monday. So we do have a giveaway. However, we're going to be making our 1,000 subscriber giveaway a little sweeter. So I was very fortunate, and a lot of people were so concerned about my own collection. And I wound up with a few extra Super Commando Mandalorians. So we're not only going to be giving away General Grievous for when we hit 1,000 subscribers. Yeah, this is a big boy that we're giving away. We're also going to be giving away a Super Commando Mandalorian. So all you guys watching tonight, you got the special inside scoop. We didn't announce this anywhere yet, not in any of my videos. So only you guys know about this extra bonus giveaway. So it's going to be epic. We believe we're 75 subs away. So we're getting pretty close. Our goal is to hit it by January 1st. So we're pushing really hard these next 10 days to get 75 more subs. And then if we do, Joanna and I will do a massive live stream on New Year's Day. It'll be crazy. So yeah, thank you, Steven. Thank you guys. I really appreciate all the support. You guys are awesome. Jason, Dom, I can't believe that this is it. This is it for the season 2. But we got a lot of exciting stuff on the horizon. Thank you guys for coming on every single week. If you guys don't know, Jason has an epic YouTube channel he does with his kids. You got an awesome mystery box coming your way. I cannot wait to see you guys bust that open, by the way.
I'm still saving my Patreon box to open that at the same time. So it's going to be an all slapshot episode when we get to it.
All right. Fair enough.
I haven't opened that bad boy yet up either. So
Nice. I like it. And then you got December's box. So I know a lot of you guys are patrons here in the chat. I just want to give a huge shout out to you guys. As always, thank you for supporting us. You guys are the best. If you guys are not following Dom over on Instagram, go check him out. He's got a pretty epic Instagram page. And in 2021, I think it's going to happen, right? We got to get your channel off the ground.
Yes, 2021 will be the year that things do happen. I have a whole name for it too, and definitely get things done. I'm definitely going to get it done. I have to get the equipment, get my stuff all ready, and we're going to have an epic YouTube channel.
There we go.
So I can get 1,000 people subbing subscribing.
Oh, I think you'll have at least 20, 25 right just from this stream. Everybody's going to know you already. And I think it's safe to say that the first thing we will want is a full collection video from you.
That definitely will be the first video I put up, because I'm getting new showcases. I'm going to put all my hot toys and things in the showcases, and Black Series and my pops. I'm going to rearrange my pops. I might be taking some of them down, and the Boba Fett's are definitely staying. I'm going to make much more of a Boba Fett shrine.
Absolutely have to with the Book of Boba Fett coming out.
Mm-hmm.
There will be changes coming.
All right, sweet. Well, thank you guys so much. We're gonna end this stream. It's hard to say, but we will be back. The three of us will be back at some point, breaking down more exciting content for you guys. I'm excited for the future. I'm very grateful to have both of you guys as friends. All you guys in the chat, you guys are awesome. Thanks for coming out every single Monday night and hanging out with us. It's been absolutely awesome. Don't forget, guys, in 2 minutes, Professor Josh is starting his mail call live stream with his wife tonight. So that's very exciting. Make sure you go grab a drink, go to the bathroom, and then go on over to Professor Josh. He is only 7 subs away from 800. So go help him out if you're not subscribed. We're trying to get him to 1,000 as well. Yeah, absolutely, Steven. Thank you so much for coming over and supporting us. And even though we won't have Mando for a while, this is still the way.
This is always the way.
This is always the way. I like that. That needs to be a bumper sticker. But anyway,
there's a way.
Absolutely. Anyway, guys, thank you so much. Have a great night, and we will see you guys very, very soon.